or 5 in. Yeah, it looks like it's a buyout, but it's like still trading. I probably, you could trade that one too. That's, to me, that's like a 50-50 kind of play. Z, pass. This thing stuck in range. GXO. That one's semi-okay. Morning, guys. What's up? Haladala. Yes, sir. What's going on in the hood? Sweet. Let's make sure everybody gets in okay first. Good. Where's my volume height? We're in. Let's do this. Guys, we got a flat open on the market. Not anything. I mean, we're just like in a little bit of a consolidation. You can see like, you know, the SPY, the QQQs, they're like straight up just, they're tightening up their range. That's what's kind of creating a little bit of the kind of back and forth that's been happening in the market. I wouldn't call the market choppy. I mean, that's like a really lazy term because there are plays going, but what will happen is like you're having your watch list is essentially going to be a little bit choppy, in that you're going to have half your watch list dumping and half of them flying and probably be like, what the fuck? Like, which ones am I supposed to be using? So it is definitely like a stock pickers market. What I mean by that is, right, there's some markets where like everybody makes money. It's like you can just throw some money at some big gelatinous turd and like everybody's like rolling with it. And then there's certain markets where, you know, that are like traders markets. And this is essentially a traders market, meaning you don't have a rising tide lifts all boat. You have a cross current in the market index. As you can see, the IWM is like really stuck in range over here. If you're even looking at like any traditional market breadth measures, right, your T210 indicator, market breadth has been very, very weak for such a long time, you know, and we did get under 20, and that kind of did, you know, give us a little bit of a pop in individual names. But like, you know, a strong market is going to be like in the 70s, maybe even, you know, in the 80s. You know, when you're at 34, like you're just having, that's when you have like a little bit of, hey, some stocks are up, some stocks are down kind of market. And that's where we're going right now with things. But you know what? It's earnings season. There's more than enough stocks that have individual catalysts out there that you can be playing, right? So I think a couple things to like just really be mindful of. You want to be, I believe, focusing, especially in earnings, on stocks that have catalysts. I'm not talking about your like, you know, $5 biotech that has like, you know, FDA news. I'm talking about real stocks that have catalysts because they're moving. You know, even you can see like, you're right, like some bigger higher price stocks can really get going. So, you know, be mindful of catalysts and the chart breakouts. But you can see like there's some good lookers out here today. I mean, this D-Dog, Datadog, adjusted earnings, revenue rise, she's Q3. See this thing? So this is 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap. I mean, that's like a picture perfect type of earnings breakout right there. Like you're not going to get any better than that. I mean, that's like, right? Like that's caliente. So you got a 3 tap breakout, about 200 million share float, $35 billion company. So mid cap to almost large cap. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. I mean, that's a beauty. Like that's probably top of the list. I don't know what this is. It's buyout pass, VNE. It doesn't even say. It's only a 1 candle pop so far on a couple 100,000 pass. SSYS. Whoa, 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 whoa. So SSYS, we got 8-5. So this is our earnings play. This is kind of interesting if it gets over that 200-day moving average. It's stuck right under there, but if it gets a little juice, it can break over. So this is a 3D stock, right? When DDD had earnings out like last quarter, this is kind of what went down, right? Like these 3D stocks, like when the earnings come out, they do tend to act pretty good. Like you had a huge run on earnings on this one. And then, you know what, even like the last earnings, like it had like see, this was its last earnings year. See this gap? So like you had a really, really nice push. Usually like, so it seems like people get excited when these like 3D companies have some little earnings pops. So I would actually, add SSYS. That's the one that had earnings. DDDs that got earnings on later. We could play that as a sympathy, but I think we just go with the best of the breed at this point of whatever has the news out. Envis has some news out. This thing's a big smelly turd though. Microvision, microvision, micro penis lost widens despite revenue boom. That's amazing. This was a pump and dump stock from, before. I'd probably leave that alone. Envis is a cult stock anyways. Like if you trade Envis, most likely you also fucking trade SNDL and Wish and AMC. And at that point, you might as well just stick your head in a gutter, call it a day, take some Xanax, whatever you got to do. But if you're trading this, your life's in shambles. Pass, hard pass, SSYS, D-Dog. Click. Schulich and self-imposed higher fiscal quarter third earnings, revenue, blah, 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 blah. Hey, this is a chart breakout. The issue on this, the big hairy Indian butt on this is going to be what? Yeah, it's going to, we don't know what kind of liquidity it's going to have. This is probably one of the ones that you put on your, if it shows up on your liquid gainer scan, guys, if it shows up in your liquid gainer scan in the first 15, 30 minutes, if it's there, because we have a volume parameter on there. If it's on your liquid gainer scan around that time, then I think you can roll with it. If it's not, then leave it alone because it's not going to have any liquidity. Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's a disgusting beer, ain't it? 1234. Yeah, I don't know. This thing is a thick little bastard. I can't believe it's $100 billion company. That's fucking wild. This is actually an oil company, or the Black Gold. Swings occur, revenue climb. That's probably a pass. Look, if it's $100 billion company and it's a $10 stock, how much is its float going to be? Yeah, 10 billion, give or take, right? So that's a no buenos. Eager, ZY, junk. Lucky Coffee. Ain't that some shit? I mean, what if it actually gets all the way back up here? Let me see what kind of liquidity this had yesterday. 1.7, the previous day at 3.3. That's a nice chart right there. It's not going to be a big liquidity play. I think you probably come back to that. That'll be like another one, like if it shows up. I'd probably leave it alone. HYMX. That's all right, but not really my cup of tea. I'm a coffee man. Jump. All right, now on the other side of things, guys, there's a whole host of tech stocks that have been getting shamangled on earnings. And we're going to be, I think that's really going to be the play. You can see like this NVRO. Woo! This is a medical device company. Man, look at it. Adjust, blah, blah, blah. You get a whole slew of downgrades. Man, that's nice. You know, like something like this, you can see here, you got a big range break on this. It's at a nice price range. Like this is probably going to have up and down like $60, $70 worth of range. The issue on this is, of course, going to be liquidity. Let's come back to that. Is $100 stock with all that, only 100,000 pre-market volume is a little bit tricky. FSLY, like this stock's a big turn. It's got a big breakdown over here. Now we can't chase this thing down. $10, obviously. If it starts to squeeze up, though, right? So what you want to do, quick pullback setup, right? Think about what a quick pullback setup is, right? After the gap down, if it starts to drift towards your 9 EMA, 20 EMA, something along that end, right? We'll watch it build, and then we'll take it short, but only on a pop Fiverr. Man, that's nice. Fiverr is going to have some range too, man. We got to add these things. Fiverr, same thing though. The SSR, will be honest, you can't short it right off at the open probably. We'll have to wait for a little bit of a pull, but this has got room to friggin' fall. I mean, first of all, it's Fiverr, right? Like, it's a longer term rollover pattern also. Like, see how you got the middle finger over here? So this is, yeah, the dreaded kind of cock and balls pattern over here. Whoop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want 155 target in the next couple of weeks. By the way, Soul Coin is, I'm like loaded deep on this thing around 33. Now I added some at 35. I think that one's you get hit for $40 by the end of the day. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, let's add that. Fiverr may have a little bit of a spread too. Now, Maxer, this I like. If it's got the liquidity. All right, you've got yourself a big breakdown here on the daily. Yeah, it should have enough volume on here. I mean, if it gets under this trend line over here, this dumping off at earnings too, that one's going to have a chance. So put an alert around 29. If you start to see an ORB setup or something along that end, you bust through 29, that's going to be, that could be a heater. Oh, man. Etsy. Yes. Fuck this company. All right. I bought one of those little mini bonsai trees, and it wasn't a bonsai tree. It was a cactus. That hurt my feelings. We short this thing. Imagine you watch Karate Kid, the one like where he tries to get the bonsai tree like on the side of the mountain. You think you're getting this little bonsai tree, and then you kind of get like more of a cactus. Just not right, man. It hurt my feelings. I've been holding a grudge. That was many years ago, but it's like your first love. You never forget. You never forget your first love. You never forget your first fake bonsai tree that is a cactus. Like that's just something that you carry with you. That's a war wound that never goes away, guys. And I got that on Etsy. And I should have known because it was only like $6. But I had big city dreams. I had big city dreams. I needed a bonsai tree. And I didn't get one. False advertising, fuck Etsy. You short this thing. This one's going to have a ton of raids. SSR is going to be on this one too. Man, they're gapping these fuckers down too much. We'll have to let it pop though. But this has got a lot of room to fall. Like, especially if he kind of loses this zone here. Man, that's nasty. Lemonade is actually a big, big shitty company anyways. This is a breakdown. And this company and stock is a turd. They're like, the new age tech insurance, but they just sell insurance. So like, fucking I hate insurance salesmen. Now, except John Wood, one of my students, awesome guy. If you ever need insurance and you're in the middle of Mobile, Alabama, Johnny Wood is your guy. Hey, if you ever take a little day trip into the beautiful town of Mobile, Alabama, Johnny Wood is the name you know. Lemonade, add it. Roku. You know what? Roku's been dropping these earnings. You know what? Kathy Johnson fucking unloaded her shares up here. She obviously knew what these earnings were about. She knew what these earnings are about. Hey, this Roku down 8%. We've had good luck trading this over the years. That's probably top of the list. You're already starting to break down. I mean, you got room down about 350. My only worry on this one's it's already been somebody knew about these earnings, obviously. I mean, this thing has been getting sold off for a while. Kathy Johnson sold off. I mean, once she's what the little fishy, huh? Okay. Jordan Axelrod, man, you are the destroyer of stocks. You love puts. Did you see AYX yesterday? This is nice. Add it to the list. Man, we got almost too many gappers. Hood, I'd stay away from Hood today. Personally, unless you're a good trader, this is tricky. The candles, if you look at the size of the candles on this bastard, I mean, you're talking about like $4 or $5 per candle. Like you have to be able to, man, you got to be able to really, and you got to really be able to be nimble on this one. And it's really extended at this point. I'd probably leave that alone. It's a good trading vehicle, but it's really tricky. Like, I'll tell you, like, for example, let me just tell you, you have to watch your size on this, all right? So, like, for example, like we had a VWAP sizzle on this yesterday. VWAP sizzle is a classic setup that, I've been using for fucking a decade, right? And this thing pops up. I like 1,000 shares of this thing. It pops up 675. It pops up like $3. I'm like, ooh, here we go, right? And then like you turn your head for one fucking second and it drops like $5. You get stopped out, and then that ain't the easiest trade. So you may want to kind of just be mindful of this. That's not going to be that's not an easy one right there, friends. Cigna healthcare companies. The only thing worse than a friggin' insurance company is a healthcare company, right? I mean, oh man, this is a nice damn breakdown. See this, and it's not too extended. So you break it under 200 SMA. You also got this 225 range on it. That's clean. When you're thinking about earnings plays in general, the cleaner they are, like when you can have them breaking levels above or below. So, right, like on the upside, we had like D-Dog, right? This is clean. Oh, fuck. Wait for us. Come on. You want clean. So, like this Cigna, we don't know if it's going to have like a good amount of liquidity or not yet. It's only got about a 50 spot on it. But like in general, that's going to be a decent one. Let's see if it's got any juice on it. I'll add it. Where'd it fucking go? There it is. I'd add it with the caveat that, like, we don't necessarily know if it's going to have any liquidity. This pen I like better. You know what? They had earnings and they did a fucking buyout for $2 billion cash. That's like cash and stock. That's a double whammy there. Man, this thing was $140, huh? Man, that Dave Portnoy, he was really celebrating his fucking net worth for a while. Man. Mm-hmm. That's hot. That's top of the list on the short side. Fuck Ped. Yeah, for moral reasons. Uber. Yeah, Uber's a thick little bastard. All right, so let's rank these, and then we got regular stocks we got to add to our list anyways. Let's rank these. So like, on your T-Styles, see this button here? It's a manually sort list. Click that. You want to start ranking them. Always rank. Fuckers. They don't want to wait for us. This is top of the list because it's got the best breakout. This is number 2 because it's got also clean breakout. It's going to have liquidity and range. Etsy, number 3 because of the fucking bonsai tree. Never forget. Lemonade, number 4. All right. Roku, number 5. Why? We've got a history of making money on Roku. You know, always, like if you're doing your trader view, like when you're on your trader view, you know, you can click symbol names and it'll tell you exactly how much money you made on a stock, lost on a stock. It'll tell you your win percentages and so on and so forth. After you make thousands and thousands of trades, like the data gets really good because you can click a particular stock and be like, oh shit, like I shouldn't be trading this stock. Like for example, Docu is also like something that we always make money on, you know? So like those are like things like if you see a setup in Crowd, Docu, like Roku, those are stocks that we have consistently made money on for years, not just like recently, right? But for years. So when you see setups on those, you get excited. You may even increase your size on them because you have a history and you have data backing it up saying, hey, I fucking make money on this stock. So I'm going to put the wood on it if I have a really, really good setup. So I think we rank those in this particular order. I put Fiverr, Maxer, and these a little bit lower because I think they're going to have spreads on them. And they're also just gapping down, I think, maybe a little bit too much. Like this Siggy Bear, also like it may be a little bit low liquidity. But this thing's got fucking room to, sorry for the swearing, but this has got room to fall. Like, that's hot. You know, what we just need is we need to make sure that we've got the ability to get some size in it, right? There's no point if you can't level in with some boom, right? Some Monster D energy. Oh man, that's nice. All right. Now let's talk about the regular watch list. So gappers is just a small part of what you should be doing. Like if your frigging trading strategy involves turning on your trade ideas gappers and trading, then your life is suspect and probably forfeit at that point and definitely in shambles. Like that seems to be what the tour du jour is for traders these days under the age of 26. So I would turn on my trade ideas gappers and fucking trade gap and go patterns. Like, come on. Let's go into the regular watch list here. Number 1, Crowdzilla. We got a breakout setting up and a third tap. Okay, that's a buenos. It's a beauty. All right. Crowd is number 1. Docu is setting up for breakout 2 to ATH. Once again, we have success in history trading Docu and Crowd. You know, we've been a little knee deep in some turds lately when we haven't. I don't think we'll have to be in today because there's all sorts of goodies here. So Airballs, you're back on the ban list. We're done with you, buddy. You're back on the ban list. I'd go Crowd. I got a whole host of these fuckers. Crowd, Docu. Any big pop on this AMC, we should take this thing down too. I think SoFi, Marv, you're right. SoFi's got a nice, this got a base breakout on it. Like it's got a really good look here, especially if it clears the 1650 kind of 17 range. You got yourself like a nice, and you got yourself a nice little action over there. That's beauty. AMC, obviously short. EXPI, a day 2 play. If it breaks over yesterday's highs, man, I think Penn is, probably top of the list. And then look, this NVAX, this 230 zone is hot. It peaked its head. It was prairie dogging for like a hot second yesterday. It was prairie dogging for a hot second yesterday. But like if it can hold this zone, we shred it, baby. We shred it. If it can hold this zone, we shred it. Now, look, I was hoping to short mRNA and BMTX. You just can't short it gapping. It's got so much momentum and gapping down $13. Like we can't short that. You know, like see this $11 gap down. We can't short that. The only way we can do this is if it goes red to green, most likely, and then you get some kind of failed breakout, failed red to green, something like that. So ideally, this is how I personally like to short these things. If it cruises up, let it go red to green. And then we want to see it either like start to fail around yesterday's highs or even break over yesterday's highs. Then we start to look for like some type of rollover, right? Some type of failed momentum. I think that'll be good. Hey, whoever asked about a firm over 70, that does look good. If my one worry with Chewy is that, you know, if Etsy gets smoked today, I mean, Chewy's like the Etsy of dog food. It does look like it does got a good look to it. This is really beautiful. By the way, this is probably more of a swing trade, meaning like it doesn't have that good of liquidity to day trade, but like that's a really, really good looking stock. You got a nice flag pattern there. So you had this news out. Now you spent a month like digesting it, kind of getting that area to congeal. Woo! At that point, like that's going to be hot, man. That's going to be hot. Good. That's the list, guys. I'm sticking to it. We're not making any additions to it. Get rid of all the junk. Get rid of all the junk. Crowd docu favorites if the market can hold up and not be a faux shout. And we got a whole host of these earnings plays. Good Lord. I mean, we should have no trouble today finding opportunities. Frankly, if we have to take a few more positions than we want, we shall, because we have some good goodies over here. So we got the lemonade, we got the Roku, we got NVAX, docu. I'm getting our 6-window layout going. Crowd, D-Dog. Man, okay. We got the top 7. Top 7 upward. Fuck that thing. We got so many hot ones, Jordan. Come on. Why you got to do that to me? Oh, and Penn. You know what? We've actually made probably more money in Penn than all these little slits. Man, I love Penn. All right. Good. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Good. Guys, let's do this right. Let's do this good. Let's do this the way men and women of honor do it. Let's go make some money. Yeah!